What's poppin' YouTube? It's your girl Shania Chanel and I am back with another video. So guys, today I am going to be telling you guys how to become a clinical lab assistant, what the job entails, all that. So let's get into this video. Okay guys, so first thing and foremost, I have been a clinical lab assistant. I was a clinical lab assistant for an entire year before I moved down here to Georgia. And now I have a job as a safety sitter. If you want details on that, let me know. Clinical lab assistant is a very rewarding and easy job, I would say. How you get a job as a clinical lab assistant. Well, I had a phlebotomy certification. Some people have CNA certifications. Some people have previous clinical background or hospital background. Me personally, I had no clinical background, no history of working in a hospital or any healthcare professional environment, okay? So baby, if I could do it, you could do it. And I was only 18. Right now I'm 20, but I was only 18. So it was my first professional job. I did have my phlebotomy certification. I graduated with that, and I made my resume mainly about what I did in school because I did know how to do those things. So I would put like centrifuge specimens. I'm gonna put my resume up here so you guys can see, not for you guys to copy, because if you put this up there and they ask you about it, they will ask you about it because they definitely asked about it in the interview. Something else that I also put on my resume is even if you don't have healthcare experience, you want to, like, say you worked at Hardee's and you had customer service experience. You put customer service because you do have customer service experience. If you worked for a call center and you've taken over 100 calls a day, you put stuff like that. Or you had a job where you typed a lot. You type a lot as a clinical lab assistant. So you want to put things like, I type this many words per minute, because they do look for stuff like that. You want to put, if you feel like you're a team leader, that's what you put. If you feel like you're a leader, that's what you put. You put things like great communication if you're great at communicating. You put all types of stuff. It doesn't have to do anything with healthcare. As long as you have these skills, you can fit into any work environment. Do you get what I'm saying? So you can put skills that you adapt from your regular jobs at Walmart, anywhere that you work, because that's what I did. You could put stuff like quick problem solver, just stuff that you need to have working in any hospital environment. Even working in a lab environment, you're going to come across problems that you may think, oh, I wouldn't come across no problems. You definitely will. So that is just like a summary of stuff you can put on your resume. You could look some more stuff up that you need to put on your resume as well. But it does not have to be all about healthcare. You can still get hired. Secondly, I work with people at the lab that I worked at. Some people had no experience working in a hospital environment, had no patient interaction of any kind, not even volunteering. So when I say you do not need experience or certifications, you got this. But if you do, it makes you look better. It makes you look like a better applicant. It really just depends on how bad they need people and if there is better competition, like someone with experience and certifications. Okay. And also it just depends on how the interview goes, because you can have all that certifications and stuff and be like, you know, it's all about first impression. So if your first impression is like, we don't know about this person, but the other person is better, the person with no experience, they might go with you. When it comes to applying, when I tell y'all I applied so many times, like me, I'm not playing no games. I didn't have these scrubs. I had purple, like burgundy type of scrubs, but I don't have those anymore. Like I said, I have a new job. I'm actually making this video right before I go to work. But yeah, so like me personally, I applied like so many times to different positions because they had first shift, second shift, and third shift. If you never worked at a hospital before, first shift is like day shift, second shift is like 2 to 11, overnight, third shift is overnight shift. You get paid shift differential, so you get paid a little bit more for working second and third shift. But anywho, yeah, so basically you want to apply a bunch of times. And if you can, you want to call. Most places will tell you that you have to go through, most of the time, most hospitals go through recruiters. So the HR department is likely to be the people reaching out to you. And then from there, that's when they decide if they want to put you through with the manager. Because if the HR department don't want to put you through with the manager, baby, you ain't me and the manager. So you can either call them or you can call the hospital, ask to speak to the department, ask to speak to the inpatient lab, and then be like, hi, can I speak to a manager? They may or may not let you, but you can always call and say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I put an application in and I just wanted to check up on it. Or you don't have to. You can wait till they reach out to you. My application process was a bit lengthy. Like, I think I had waited like 2 whole months after, like, waited for the interview, then got the interview, then had to wait like another month to hear back. But I got the job, but it just took a little while. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then let me tell you guys what you do, because you might be like, what is a clinical lab assistant? Clinical lab assistants do the same thing, but depending on where you work, it may be different everywhere. I worked in a major reference lab, so it was like one of the biggest labs in the area. So everyone would send their stuff to us. You may work in a smaller lab where you might have to do more work. So basically you have like ordering. Ordering is basically you order doctor orders. Doctors send their requisitions in, they send their blood specimens, the urine specimens, you might get stool, you might get sputum, you might get all types of specimens, COVID, all that stuff. So they send whatever they have, and you basically type in the patient's information and you order the test for them. And you have to just double check to make sure all the patient information is correct. And you literally do that all day long if you're ordering. Now, if you're receiving, you may be receiving stuff from other hospitals with the same, or just other hospitals that have Epic. At the hospital I worked at and the hospital I work at now, they both use Epic. So if it's a hospital that use Epic, they can order their stuff on their own, and then we just say that we receive the order and the specimen, and then that's all you have to do, and then you deliver it to the departments. So basically, that's what you would do. We had an 8100, which is a machine that runs the tests and delivers it to the correct department. So we just put the specimens on the 81. Sometimes we have to pour off the serum and walk it over to the department ourselves. But majority of the time, you just put it on the center. You just put it up there, and that's it. You do centrifuge specimens, but not really often. Like I said, if you work in a smaller lab, you might be centrifuging like all the time. But I worked in a big reference lab. There was plenty of people at work. We had a big machine. We didn't have to do all of that. Now, if you work somewhere like the tube station was another station that I had to work at. The tube station is basically like everything else, except it's just mainly receiving. Like, you receiving because it's inpatient. It's everything inpatient. If you don't know what inpatient is a patient that spends more than 24 hours at a hospital and is admitted. So an admitted patient from upstairs, they draw blood, they drop them down the tube station, you scan them, and you deliver them ASAP. Because inpatients I prioritize over outpatients, at least in the lab that I worked in, y'all. So basically, what you want to do is you want to receive it and you want to deliver it right away. Because most of them are either stat or they're just inpatient. We're trying to get them in and out of the hospital, you know? So yeah, that's basically it. And also inpatient also come from the ER. So yeah. So that's basically the job. I was not there long enough to learn the 8100, which is how to work the machine. Like I said, all labs don't have those machines. So you may not even ever see this machine in your life unless you want to become like a lab scientist, then maybe you will. But yeah, I've never learned how to work the machine. But yeah, they do scan papers in and things like that. But that's basically all we did, y'all. And as easy as it sounds, you have to learn a lot as well. You have to learn the vocabulary, the terminology, how they talk in the hospital, the terminology of the lab, and it's just so much stuff to learn. But once you learn it, you got it like this. So yeah, that's basically all you need. Make sure you put some references down on your resume if you can, some professional references, even if it's your last manager from your old job. And when you get this job, don't be in here acting unprofessional. Make sure you know how to speak professionally. You don't have to be trying to speak the most proper speaking, but like, just make sure you leave this job with a good impression. At least just don't get fired. Because if you get fired from a hospital, most of the time you cannot work at any other of those hospitals, not just that location. So say you work at Emory Hospital. You cannot work at any Emory location hospitals if you're fired from Emory. Okay? So I'm just letting you guys know. I'm just letting y'all know. Do not get fired from the hospital. Quit before you before you get fired, okay? But yeah, so that's basically how you become a clinical lab assistant. Like I said, I was a clinical lab assistant for a year. Now I am a safety sitter, and I am currently in school for radiology to become an X-ray tech. So if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. Bye.